honestly, y'all know I've told y'all several times. I've always prayed over the years and I've always asked God to show me my purpose. What is my calling? What am I here for? And I don't feel like I've ever got answered. And I just had a light bulb moment, thinking like I might not be ready for it. I might not.
I feel you.
If God showed me my purpose, I may not embrace it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I guess because I'm telling y'all, I've prayed that prayer I don't know how many times in my life, and I still literally don't know.
But you know what? I think that's a question that so many people. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
All
I
right
think
then.
I think that's a question that a lot of people struggle with. But the thing about it is, our purpose is literally what we were created for, which was to experience and to live this life to the best of our ability, to be our true authentic self, you know.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
by doing so, by doing so and by carrying the light that we have within us, that's what inspires others.
Mhm.
So our purpose, we could have multi purposes. Our purpose could be simply speaking to somebody. Our purpose could simply be sharing in conversation, sharing something that we've been through to encourage the next person. I think sometimes we get so like trapped in ways of trying to figure out like what is our calling, what are we supposed to be doing, do we supposed to be giving back, do we supposed to be teaching, do we supposed to be doing, you know, XYZ, when in reality the biggest thing that we're supposed to be doing is literally living,
Literally.
You know what?
living
You just gave
and
me so
just
much
being.
perspective because I am that person. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this grand thing
Yeah,
when it's probably not even that deep.
it's not,
The funny
but
part is it's not as deep as thinking it gotta be something grand on a scale of in your face, but you're living, you being exactly who you were created to be, is
Mhm.
grand as a mother, it's grand as hell. You never know who is that gonna touch by sharing your journey or experiencing your own journey.
and see
Right.
that's the thing. We look for it to be something so big without seeing that we are that big thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We are that. We overlook the little things, the subtle things that we do in our everyday lives. We overlook how a smile could literally save somebody's life. We overlook how
Yes.
a comforting hug or something could literally bring somebody out of the shadows. We overlook how just saying how are you today could give
Mhm.
somebody that space to feel free to open up, to release, to vent. You
Right.
know,
Right.
that's our purpose. Our purpose is literally being, just being. But in order to just be too, you have to know who you are. Our purpose is to literally
Mm-hmm.
unlearn and relearn
Yep.
and do our shadow work and work through things that we may have suppressed and heal and grow so that we can show other people that they can do it too. That's literally it. Now, our purpose may take us to different heights at different times in our life, but that's just how our path is designed for us. You know what I mean? So,
Hey, I have a lot of different things that I'm good at, but I'm not passionate about neither one of them. Only with my
right,
writing.
baby,
But
right here with you.
yeah, so
And it used
it's
to drive
frustrating
me.
sometimes.
It used
Yeah.
to drive
That's what you
me
need to talk to is that
insane.
one.
It used to. Coco will tell you, I would literally crash out so bad. Like, what am I doing? I can do all these great things, right? I could be who you need me to be.
Mm-hmm.
I can go where you need me to go. I can do this. I can perform this. I can do this. I have this gift. I have this ability. I don't feel drawn to anything.
Right.
I don't feel like I technically belong in anything. Why is that? Because first you have to find home within yourself. And you
Mhm.
have to know that if you are a person who has all these different abilities, like that's just what it is. You're not meant to be boxed into one particular category. You're not meant to be caged into just one thing or just doing one thing. Again, it goes back to your life path. You may be good at this, and this is where this needs to be highlighted or illuminated. It may be you counseling somebody, and then later on it may be you doing something else, and you have to just navigate it. You have to pull from within you those different things in different times, and you just do it to the best of your ability. Because if not, I'm telling you, it took me so long to get that, to understand that. And I would be like, I'm on this spiritual journey. I'm doing all these things. I'm doing all this work. I'm elevating. You know what I mean? I'm getting closer. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But why do I still not feel drawn to anything? I can do a lot, but I don't care for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you tell me to do it, then it's like, yeah, I do it. Let me just go ahead and knock this out the way.
And I look at my nephew. He's so passionate about being an electrician. I'm talking about, you can see the passion. He
Right.
gets excited. I
Right.
ain't never had a job that I've ever been excited about in my life.
Right. Right.
And
That's how it is.
sad.
That's how it is, Nikki. And when you look at other people and you see how whatever they're doing, their passion just like it fires them up. Like it's something that they can talk about for days.
Yes.
And they literally dedicate themselves to it. They dedicate their everything to it. And you're just like, dang, I don't feel like that about nothing. Never have. Just nothing. So, yeah, I totally understand. I had to work through that. I had to work through that because it will literally drive you insane. It really will. It'll have you looking like, what is wrong with me?
And it's amazing. She's come a long way.
It's a journey. It's a journey within itself to know that you are just that great. And that's the thing about it. You have to know, like, damn, I'm just that great. Like I'm really that girl. You know what I'm saying? You have to own that you can do and be so many things and not be tied to any of them.
I was listening to one of my audiobooks today, and so I'm just listening to the story or whatever. And they said something that resonated to me. It's a character in the book that everyone has always said how pretty she was, but she just does not feel that way. She doesn't feel that she's pretty. And it
Right.
resonated with me because it's about the same. I've always been told how pretty I am, but for whatever reason, I just never, I would, you automatically say, well, thank you,
Yeah.
but it's just not, oh, I am pretty. I've never had that thought. And I
Right.
was like, why is that? I wonder. Because
Well,
I've always want to be looked at as smart and intelligent and all these other things besides being pretty to somebody.
I totally get where you're coming from with
Mm.
that. I totally get where you're coming from with that. I understand where you're coming from because, but you got to think about too. You have to think about the way society makes things look and the way that your upbringing made you too, because a lot of times people would say, "What is it? Well, how did the saying go? Something about you can be pretty, but you don't have book smarts or something like that, or your looks got you here and your looks got you there, and da 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 this and that. So you
Right.
go
Your
even
looks
10
can't get you
times
far.
harder to get. Yeah, your looks will take you far, type of thing. So you go harder, and you like, I'm more than just a pretty face. I want you to see me for me, but first you have to see you for you. But also for people who grew up in households or around an environment where as you were growing up, you're being told stuff like, you ain't all that. You ain't all this. You all right. Because I feel like as a child, that's when it's instilled in you the most. Like that love, that care, that compassion, that confirmation that you need as a child. So if you're not standing firm in that, you know you tend to believe the stuff that you hear. So you're like, okay, let me go harder in books. Because at that point, you're trying to prove something, and what you don't realize is that you're trying to prove something to everybody else, but you have to prove it to yourself. Like, you have to see yourself. Somebody can tell you something all day long. I can say, Nikki, you are so funny. But if you don't feel it, I'm just talking. You know, it's just like, okay, yeah, a lot of people tell me that, so I guess I am. Okay, thank you. I accept it. I guess that's what I am. But you have to go back. And that's where shadow work comes in, y'all. Shadow work is so freaking important because it reveals so much about yourself, and it unlocks places that you have forgotten about as to why you feel the way you do about certain things in your current life. You know what I'm saying?
Because I literally get turned off when a man keeps complimenting my looks a lot.
Right.
I don't know, and it bothers me. I get annoyed because I'm sitting here like, okay, what else do you see outside of with the hours? Like, what else can you say besides that? Right. And I don't know. I just get irritated a lot. It's like, okay.
With that too, though, even with that, now that's kind of different, but I still get where you're coming from, because when it comes to a man and when it comes to a relationship or some type of bill, I want you to see my heart. I don't want you to just see, my exterior. Yeah. And then when you deal with people who that's really all they look for, you become accustomed to that. So when it's somebody who probably really want to just encourage you every day and do tell you that you're beautiful, you like, it's going to take you a minute to even be able to accept it, because you're like, where are you coming from with this? What is your motive?
Because I be like, what do you want?
Tell me this.
Because you done said this too many times.
Yes, what do you want from me?
That'll be my go-to. What do you want?
Yeah, because that's how they do. You know, like, y'all know, everybody know that's how people do. They butter you up when they want something. So when it's somebody genuine, they kind of have to pay for that until you realize that they ain't here just to take from you. They're here to give to you and to pour into you. So that's where discernment comes in too. But that's also where shadow work comes in too, because you have to heal before you can even move on and be able to accept compliments if it's coming from someplace genuine. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep. Yeah. It's a process. It's
a whole process.
It's a journey.
Come on, it's the club. That's real talk though. And that's another thing where it comes in. Okay, so yeah, we just want to get past the beauty aspect, but are you willing to have the conversation to get to know each other deeper past that?
Right. Because they do exist. Those type of people do exist. When they sit there and they butter you up, fill me up, buttercup, to get what they want, and then you left looking stupid unless you have that conversation and you like, listen, I'm more than just my looks, okay? Tell me exactly what it is. What are we doing here? What are you trying to say? And if you really know me, or if you're really getting to know me, you will see that you telling me this every day is not doing it for me. You will see that you need to go a little bit deeper.
Baby, those face expression would tell it all.
Period. But yeah, I just feel like whenever you meet somebody or whenever you're trying to build or somebody approaches you, you don't have to be like, look here, I ain't got time for all these games. I ain't got time for this and that. You don't have to be so hard about it, because it really could be somebody that could potentially be your person, or could potentially take you to who your person is. But
look, they probably talking to me because baby, I be getting for what do you want, what you need. Let's go. I ain't got time for this.
You don't have to. You don't have to be like that. But that's where the healing comes in. Once you heal, you recognize, like, okay, I don't have to be such a rested itch face. Purposely.
Right.
I don't have to operate in such a masculine energy purposely. Somebody could just be giving me a compliment, like, damn, girl, breathe. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? Now a
I just want to let you
passerby
know
is
my water went
totally
in here.
different because of course I'm always polite and thank you so much. But you know when you're actually dating someone and you
Mm-hmm.
know every time you're around them and every time y'all hang out and every time y'all hook up, it's you compliment the physical and that's nice to be. I don't know nobody that don't like compliments. So I'm not saying that. It's just more of if we're trying to get
Yeah.
deeper with each other and figure out if we for each other, then tell me what you see truly. Because you can't just see me being pretty. Like
You
that can't
have
just be
to.
it.
You have to say that too, Nikki, because they might be coming from a
Right.
place where the last person they talked to, that's all they wanted to hear. You know what I
Right.
mean? You have.
That's
That's
where
where those
communication come
real.
in.
Yep. That's where those real conversations come in.
And
Where
you
Well,
you
know, we
are
thank you.
tend
happy.
to, Nikki, we tend to be like, that's all you giving. You know what I'm saying? We want you to give more automatically, and that's not the reality of of how we rock down here for real.
Right.
There are some you might find that kind of click with your way of thinking, even if y'all don't end up clicking for a relationship. But for
Hmm.
those who are not, we can't really necessarily. It's not the best thing to just count them out before we've had that conversation. You know what I mean?
That's true too. That's true too.
Yeah. You have
But I
to.
feel like, you know, we and that's just me getting an
Yeah.
understanding that I'm not everybody's not like me, everybody don't think like me, and I don't think like everybody.
Right.
So I do give grace, but it
Right.
gets annoying when we're of a particular age and this is what you want to talk about, or you look at me and you say, you know, I don't know why my energy come off to people as seductive,
Oh,
but
we
I'm
can't help
telling
that,
y'all,
baby.
nine
It's just in your
chances out of
DNA.
girl, and I'd be like, well, I wasn't thinking nothing like that, but what? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you feeling all wonderful, and I'm sitting here talking about what we finna drink in a minute. You're like,
Right.
what's going on with you? So it's like,
You
maybe
know.
is that my energy? Is that what I'm giving off?
It's just one of them things that y'all just have. You just have it. You just have it.
But girl, it's annoying, especially
And
when
I
that ain't the
understand
vibe.
because again,
It can be.
you're still saying but you have to have the conversation. You have to
Put
because
that
you don't
down
even
before
know
break. Sit it
you
down,
don't
girl.
necessarily know where that person is. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to have those conversations because if you don't have those conversations and you just keep going with the flow, that could no, I don't want to say a waste of time because nothing is technically never a waste of time. But you could be
Right.
spending more time there than needed. I'll put it like that.
And I try to be patient because y'all probably don't know, but I'm cutthroat. I used to be cutthroat, so I try to be patient and see, you know, if the tide gonna change
And that's
before I get
everybody on this
irritated.
live.
But
Right.
yeah,
Everybody.
That's all of us.
but I'm just working on that patience thing with people and not jumping so quick and trying to get an understanding, but
Right. And you don't have
and not
to
have my face look like I'm really finna walk off on you in a minute.
right. You don't and
Oh,
that's
you
another
really be
thing.
sitting over
You don't have to pacify a person to
Right.
give them grace and patience. You
Right.
still the thing about it is no matter what you're doing and where you are trying to grow or what you are working on, you still operate in your most authentic self because
Hmm.
you have to be able to show them who you truly are and you can even talk about it like listen, this is where I am in life now. I'm working on myself when it comes to being patient. However, I don't allow this and this, or I draw the line with this and this, or I'm
Yeah.
only giving time for. That's where boundaries come in, and you're not being
Yeah.
rude about it, but you're being upfront enough, and you're being true to yourself. You're honoring those boundaries.
Hmm.
So it's okay to be like, hey, I'm just in a place where I'm trying to see where this is going, but I need you to show me who you are. I need you to have some real
Yeah.
come with me. That way I'm not hiding anything from you. You're not hiding anything from me. And then we can decide together if this is going to work or if it's not.
True. That's true. And that's fair. That's
Fair.
definitely fair.
That's it.
And it's
Baby,
even
let me
fair
tell
to
you
you.
something. It took Professor Chantal Jones a long time to get to who she is today. It took a long time, y'all. And when I say a long time, when you think about the time of when I started my journey and all that kind of stuff, and like really going back to me, you would think, oh, it didn't take you no time. But in reality, how it makes me feel, it feels like it took forever.
Yeah.
But it really didn't. It really didn't. And I'm
That
grateful for it.
that work
And,
feel like it stretch out.
It
It feel like it stretches
do.
out.
It do.
and I'm just so ready for my person until I can just taste it. You know, I want to be right for my person. I'm telling y'all, like I'm so sick of dating and going through the motions with these folks. Ugh.
And that's,
It's
but you
like,
know
Lord,
what?
please send me my man
I
so
totally,
we can live happily ever after.
I totally get where you're coming from with that. And then sometimes we have to, whoo, Lord, they really on me. Listen, sometimes we have to accept that if they're not there, but we can taste them, we can feel them, we damn near can sense their energy. It's just more work that they have to do to be ready for you, and you have to them.
Right.
So in that moment of separation, focus on yourself.
Girl, I can't.
Focus
You hear me? Because I'm
on
trying to focus on a place filler. Can I have a placeholder? In the meantime, I'm trying hard. I'm trying hard, y'all. Not
that is literally what you have to do. And y'all, it can be so hard because it's like, oh my God, I feel it. I feel it. It's right there. It's so
Yes.
grand. I even got a little taste of it. I want that. And you like, and then it just
Right?
stops or it goes away. You like, what the hell? You know, because it's more work that they have to do. They may feel perfect to you now,
Yeah.
but then if you rush it, it can be a little area that they don't find that's a big deal, and it's a big deal for you. And then now here go a kingdom spouse that y'all can't even mesh together because they weren't healed all the way. And you
right.
weren't healed all the way
Right.
to see
True.
that they worked through what they worked through, and you have, overcame being impatient or overcame not letting little things bother you or being able to communicate effectively. So in those moments of separation, you really have to self-evaluate, self-reflect, think
And
about what
and
it
and
is
and,
that
and
you
it is,
really want.
and I do for the most part. But let's, because I got to be honest with y'all. The flesh. You understand me? it,
You gotta get that
it,
spirit
I was
it,
like,
together.
skin to skin, Nikki.
Trust me, Nick, I get it. You got to get that spirit together. But see,
yes, honey.
this is another thing though. This is another thing, y'all. When you get so into you and you get to see the growth, get to see how you have grown from this into that, and you get to see how I would have never thought I would be who I am today. I would have never thought I would be able to do this. I would have never been
Come
able to
on.
handle this like this. When you get a taste of that, you're going to crave to do more and more and more and more and more. It never stops. That's when that person comes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're at a point where you're tired of dating, you're tired of doing the in and out, the back and forth, the are we this or are we that, are we cool, are we not? Focus on you and
Right.
really tap in and meditate and ground and manifest what it is that you really want. Like, be so honest with yourself. What do you want? And while you asking what you want, always consider what do you have to give to. What are you
Mm-hmm.
willing to give? What are you willing to sacrifice? Or what are you willing to do for your relationship? You have to really put that stuff out there, because if you just like, listen, I need a Denzel. I need him to be 6'2". I need him to be able to do this. You might get that, but then they looking for you to be a Tyra Banks or something. being able to do this, cooking every day, having the children, etc., and then now you wasted that time. You get what I'm saying? Or now you gotta go through this to get to the next. So in the meantime, in between time, trust me, that flesh gonna flesh now. It's going to.
Because I done talked it down a few times.
You gotta think of it like celibacy in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am totally preparing myself for my one and only. I am totally.
I'm so sick of celibacy, Bama.
Physically, spiritually. I'm talking about on all aspects. I am preparing myself to be whole for not only me, but for who is for me. Because I don't want somebody to come in that I love so much till I lose myself again. I don't want that. I don't want to be so in love with somebody that all I see is pouring into them and I'm not even thinking about me because that's what I asked for. When they say be mindful and be ever so careful of what you ask for, you really have to take that time. You have to self-reflect. You have to work on those areas that you may feel like I thought I was good there. You have to give yourself that grace. You have to give yourself that grace the same way you would be willing to give somebody else grace. You have to love yourself the same way you would be willing to love somebody else. You have to give yourself pep talks of encouragement the same way you would do for somebody else because it all starts with you. So if you want to draw in some energy of somebody who is a dang replicated version of yourself, you got to give yourself that time. You have to focus on you. And that's for everybody.
Right.
That's a word there. That's a word there.
Listen, I'm not going to tell y'all. I'm not going to tell nobody nothing that I have not dealt with at a toe end experience, went through, or anything like that. And especially learn from. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell nobody anything that I don't know to be true. And that's not going to work for your greatest good.
Amen. Can we get that collection plate passed around?
Okay. Because I'll give you $2 for that. You hear me?
Now, we see people all the time, right? Like if you get on a live, when you're scrolling on TikTok, what's the main thing everybody's talking about? Love, they person. Where he at? Is this person gonna come back? Is this person gonna come back? Are they gonna leave this person for me? Are they gonna leave that person for me? Like, damn, can you be there for you? Can you love you first? Can you see you first? Can you search so hard? As hard as you search for a man or a woman, can you search that hard for yourself?
For you.
As hard as you go for a man or a woman, can you go that hard for yourself? If you can't give that to yourself, you will never be able to give it to somebody else. It just will never work. It will never work. Got my phone falling down over here. It won't work.
That's the devil. That's the devil.
It's the powerful word coming out.
Okay.
Shoot.
Dang.
These are real truths.
Thank you for the gift. Yeah, you have to. Y'all, when I tell y'all my phone keep falling. Falling harder than Alicia Keys over here, okay?
I keep on falling.
In and out.
Of love. We wonder how we can fall in and out of love with people, but it's because we keep falling in and out of love with ourselves. Not all the time, but a lot of the time.
Or it's not working because you don't even know what to love about yourself. I think that's a great question to start asking somebody when you're getting ready to date somebody. What is it that you love about yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you really feel about yourself? I mean, they need to be able to tell you the highs, the lows, the goods, the bad. I want to do this. I want to work on this. I think that's a great
Yeah.
start for somebody who don't really have time to play around with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Get into
Right.
those real conversations. Do you have any suppressed emotions? Have you healed from childhood? And they look at you like, what you talking about? Explain it to them. And if they are interested in more of what you have to say, entertain it. If they like, I ain't got time for this, then that's your answer. They ain't got time for them, so they don't have time
Yep.
for you.
Because if I've
Oh,
been done told you about
come
so
on.
quick, it been done scared me and you.
Exactly. 1 second, y'all.
Come on,
1
bitch. I
second.
would have hit that. Well, let me go and go get my shot at the bar. See you later now. Yeah. Hey, it make it real simple, don't it? Real quick. Just saved your money on a meal and everything. You saved your energy. You've been open. You've expressed. And now you can continue to flow. Ain't nobody got time.
Yeah. So when somebody is walking up to you and they like, what up, girl? Don't you get sidetracked by that voice. Don't you get sidetracked by the looks. Don't you get sidetracked by that eyebrow. Okay? Don't you get
You know,
Not
sidetracked
the
by that
eyebrow.
wardrobe.
my mama gave me some
Not the
real
eyebrow.
grown woman advice. My
I know
mama
you're right.
told me, she said, first of all, looks ain't everything. And my mama said to me, she said, when you look good, he ain't got to, because you going to make him look good. So stop
Exactly.
going off of looks.
Exactly. You can't get
That's a
sidetracked
thing.
by that outer appearance, baby. We want to know the
Yeah.
inner. We want to know that soul. We want to know what that spirit been through. We want to know what that soul has been healing from. We want to know that.
Yes, honey. That's me all day long. I want to know your spirit, your
Yeah.
heart. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't, the looks fade, they change, they can be, you know what I'm saying? Like, that can't be what you're after. I
Yeah.
want to know what your spirit is like, baby.
And if
Yes.
they come to you and they like, oh, you one of them. So yes, I am.
And Neil,
That part
Yes, I am.
is is.
I am one of them. Because, baby, you have to operate in that divine feminine like no other.
Yes.
That don't turn off. When you really stand in that power, it don't matter how you look. It don't matter how you feel. That will always be shown to the outside world.
I can't wait to become a damsel in distress. I just can't wait. Y'all don't even
Listen.
understand. I have been strong all my life. I am ready. You hear me?
Then
I'm
be
just gonna
her.
fall out of faint if my tie goes flat. Like, sir, I can't do nothing for myself. I need a man to help me.
Niggas and she is ready to be rescued.
Baby, yes, rescue me. My knight in shining armor.
She ready to be rescued. But we want a real
Yes.
night. We want a real night. So until that real
Okay.
night come, we gonna keep doing what we have to do. We
Yeah,
gonna
let me
keep
go on and change
manifesting
this
how we
tie.
have to manifest. We gonna go ahead and change that tie or pay
Yeah.
somebody to change it.
Okay.
Because we want that real knight in shining armor. We don't want
Yes.
somebody in the Halloween costume.
No. Come on, Halloween costume.
Okay? This ain't no trick or treat. Period. But that's why I love our community, though. That's why I love our tribe, our sisterhood, our brotherhood. I love that you can
Yeah.
find a bunch of people who are like-minded and, that's working on bettering themselves and healing and really walking in the path of
Yes.
who they supposed to be, because we need each other one way or another. If there's something that each of us has that the other person needs,
True.
and it's
Yep.
reciprocal energy. It's not just take. It's give and take, and it's mutual. And I love that. There's no jealousy. There's no malice. There's no hatred. You know what I mean? There's just wanting each and every one of us to elevate and become the best version of ourselves that we could possibly be, and get all those things that we deserve, and don't mind helping each other get to it.
Yep.
And I'm blessed to know you guys, but I'm blessed, like you said, we're so like minded. You know, when you can talk in your truth and you don't have to hide who you are. Like I've
Yeah.
hid myself for so long, you know what I mean? But to
Yeah.
just stand in my truth and own all of me, baby, when I tell you it's the freest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
And that is a part of working in your purpose. Being free. We are not
Yeah.
meant to be on this earth operating under the mask that we have had to wear for so long, to the point that sometimes we don't even see it as being a mask, because that's just how we grew up. That's what we were
Mm-hmm.
around. That's what we were taught. You gotta be like this. You gotta operate like this. You gotta look like this. You gotta talk like this. No. When you break out of that matrix, you break out of that cycle. When you break out of that cycle, you can be your true authentic self unapologetically and show the next person that just the same way I did it, you can do it too.
True. Because if I had a daughter, I promise I'd lace up on all this game. My child be so ready for the world.
Yeah.
No, no, you're right.
And see, but that's the thing about, I love the fact that we are who we are too, because we are literally raising that next generation. We are breaking these curses that has been passed down for generation by generation. Like, we are preparing them for not this world, but a new world.
True. True, true.
And to run that thing with gusto.
The right way.
Yes.
We are literally raising gods and goddesses.
Yep.
We are here to show them that it don't have to be like that. And it's hard to show them that when that's all they see.
Right.
But we are here to show them. No, I tell my children all the time, I understand this is what X, Y, and Z do. I understand this is how they operate. I understand this is how they live their life. But let me show you something different. Let me tell you something. You listen to me. Follow me. And I'm going to show you that there is another way to do things. You don't have to just bow down to the way of the world. You don't have to do that. So it's very important to be that role model and to show them your authentic self, so they don't have to hide who they are or feel like they have to hide who they are. Anytime that you're around people and you can't be yourself, you will know when you are around the right amount of people or the right group of people, because they will accept you for you. They won't try to change you. I mean, they can, changing you as in to make them how they see you should be. They will not try to change you. They will accept all of you, flaws and all, and help you become a better you. So anytime you're wondering if people are really for you, that's one way you can find out.
It helps you to even embrace you more.
Yes.
I can honestly say, for being around these group of individuals has helped me to really be able to strip to the root some of the lies and things about who I was or wasn't, and just be me and just be. It's amazing the power that it is that a group like that.
If they find it weird, I don't care if they're like, ooh, you different.
Yep.
I don't care about none of that. Thank you.
Yep.
You're not gonna be for everybody, and that's okay. And everybody is not going to be for you, and that's okay. It matters what you think. It matters how you feel. You may feel alone sometimes in your journey before you meet the people that you're supposed to be around, but trust and believe that they are coming. But you gotta you got to focus on you and know that everything that's meant for you will come to you in its time. In divine timing, everything happens. So yeah, I think that's something that everybody can do every day. Every day you can ask yourself, am I living in my truth? am I being who I really am? Or am I being who I was raised up to be, or who the world looks to me to be? And if you're not being yourself, change. And you're not going to change every night, but the more you try, the more you put forth that work and that effort, the more you can become who you truly are.
It get hard sometimes.
Yes, it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy because who wants to be judged?
Nope.
But you know, I have this chapter that's called, if I'm not mistaken, I think I called it Judged by a bunch of non-judges or something like that. Nobody has a right to judge anybody. However, we know we live in a world where that's all people do. I don't care what they say. I don't care if they go to church. I don't care if they read the Bible. I don't care what they say. They judge.
They judge.
Nobody wants to judge.
They judge.
Nobody wants to judge.
You chopping up.
I was just gonna say she breaking down.
Oh, y'all don't like that. Be all right.
Right. Now they pause her completely.
Listen. That's some real spirit right there.
What?
Let you know how real it is.
So at this point, my entire life cut out. But anyway, you guys be sure to, if not catch my next live, where we just really talk about anything and everything, or be sure to like and subscribe on here. Good night.
I'll give you the sun, the rain, the moon, the stars, and the mountains.